Hi, my name's Bartholomew, and I'm a unit still photographer, also referred to as a on-set photographer. I got into the industry more or less kind of by luck or fate, if you would like to say. I used to work in advertising as a photo retoucher and editor. And then one day I got a call to ask if I could assist another photographer working on a TV series in Morocco. It was the first time that I'd been on a film set. I didn't even know what a unit photographer was at the time. And the first time I sort of stepped on a set, I kind of knew that this is kind of where I wanted to be and where I wanted to work. It was kind of like just fell into my lap in some kind of way. From there, it took a few years for me to start to get a few jobs. It does take a while to get into the industry. After that, for a couple of years, I did get a couple of days on a feature film. Daunting, difficult. Got shouted at the first day, as with any film crew do. That's a difficult one. But then from there, it got a little bit easier. You start to get into it, start to get used to the crew, got used to working with the crew. And then, yeah, from there, also, again, it was another long wait. Good a couple of years before I got an opportunity to work a couple of weeks on that international feature film. It was quite a big film, so it was quite stressful. But then from there, it does get easier. Once your name gets out there, you've got a network with the right people, producers. You eventually get to know people in the industry. So it does take a while to build up your portfolio. It can get a bit difficult sometimes when you do a job or work on a film, no one gets to see your images straight away. It takes a while, only when the film that comes out, images of what you've been shooting will get released and approved, and then you can add that to your portfolio to show new customers. So it can be quite a timely process, and you do need quite a bit of passion and persistence to actually push through and get through also the quiet times when you're between jobs. For me to get hired as a unit photographer on set, it does mean a lot of networking. I usually try and get hold of production companies and producers. It's usually the producers that would make a decision on whether they want to employ me or not on the specific film or TV series. You're getting hired by producers. It's often, sometimes, on a very rare occasion, have I actually been interviewed by a director or the cinematographer, and they've seen what I've shot, and it actually fits in with how I can represent their work in a still, which is important because you need to be able to tell the same story with your still that what's being filmed on the day or throughout the production. My typical day kind of starts off with me, first of all, making sure that you've read the call sheet, you've read the sides, or even before that, I make sure that I've read the script and know what's happening in the story, characters, actors, everything like that. And then also I try and get hold of if there is any references from the director or cinematography on looks for the film, so I can start to work around that and get my head into what I'm going to be shooting. And this generally I get an idea of what it's going to look like before I step onto set. Once I'm on set, the main thing I need to check out and watch for is what the cameras are shooting on the day. What are they framing up and how they are shooting the scene in front of them. From there, I try and not emulate or copy, but try and get as close as possible to what is being shot in the day. Frame-wise, lens-wise, all those little details. There are occasions when, especially when a set is quite tight, where there's a lot of cameras and there's not much space, I'll get the opportunity to maybe ask for a moment once the scene is finished to get a couple of shots of the actors. Or otherwise, I'll try and get a different angle which I'll try and find a different angle that'll look like, tell the same story, but slightly different frame, different angle, but it'll still look good and still represent the story that's being told in front of camera. From there, you've kind of, at the end of the day, you end up processing all your images, editing them, copying them onto a hard drive, and then that gets sent off to clients either on the hard drive, or otherwise sometimes it can get directly loaded up to their servers. Working with the film crew, it's important to remember that as a still photographer, you are not there to make a film yourself. The rest of the crew are there to make the film, and you are you're in your own department and your own in a lot of ways, where you've kind of got to fit in and not get in the way with the chaos that's happening around you. It's always a good idea to get to know all the crew, especially your camera operators and your boom swingers and sound, especially your sound, because you don't want to be making any noise on set while you're shooting. And then also, the biggest thing is make sure that you observe what the film crew do around the set and know that where they're going to be at a certain time, what they're going to be doing when the cameras are rolling, and that you do not get in their ways at all. Getting into the industry can be quite tricky because you need to build up a portfolio, and with building up a portfolio means you need to be on a film set. For me, it happened kind of in a way by accident, and for many other photographers, they can tell you a completely different story from what I can say in front of you. Everyone gets into sets in a different way. My advice would probably to get onto documentaries, music videos, and small sets, even student films and things like the indie films, short films, just so you can start getting experience and building up a little bit of a portfolio, getting used to working with film crew, which is the most important thing. And then, yeah, from there, it's a lot of networking, a lot of persistence to get your name out there and go for it. I love it, and I wouldn't do it any other way. And I mean, that's what I love. It can be tough, but I'm not going to stop doing what I don't want to do. Another big important thing is when you're shooting on a film set is understanding that your performers and cast, they are on set and they concentrate very hard on their performance and their dialogue that they've remembered. So it's important not to get into their eye lines at any time, whether their eye line is to another actor or to the camera. It's best not to get in the way, because can stop the cameras rolling, and you'd have to start again, which can cost time on production when there generally isn't extra time added on to the day. Being on a film set is also important, not just network to the producers and things like that, but also to the rest of your crew. Being kind and nice to the crew can take you a long way, because the last thing you want to do is piss off any of your camera crew, because if you piss off any of your crew, they get angry, they're not going to give you opportunities or space to get shots that you want. So always be nice, just be friendly, and you'll get those shots. You'll get the shots that you want without getting in the way.